Hello, everybody. Welcome to another installment of Show to V with Mike G, the show of life, the show of Russia, the show of Mobile, Alabama. Love moving to Austin for great hospitality career moves. But this week at Show to V, to kind of coincide with Texas Tiki Week, this is Rhum Week at Show to V. Today's guest is Ania Robbins, the bar manager of Backbeat here in Austin, Texas. But she's recently taken a position with House of Agricole, some wonderful rum agricole such as Rhum JM, Clement, and Damoiseau. Beautiful expressions of this Martinique-style rum, and we get to sip a little bit of it, but we get to talk about Ania's incredible story from academia to here in Backbeat in Austin, Texas. So without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed this chat with Ania Robbins.
That was
the first one, wasn't it?
Out of town, yeah. Which is great because I don't go to San Antonio as much as I should.
Yeah,
and it gives me
hard.
a good reason. Yeah. I mean, it's like, if you think about it, it's not that hard. It's an hour away.
Yeah,
an hour by Steven's time, an hour and a half by mine. So yeah, we always argue about that. Cool. Yeah. So and I love this town. I love people and how pretty it is, and
it's massive too.
And I still don't believe people that tell me it's massive because it feels so small when you're there. I don't know why.
Well, I think it's probably the people actually.
Yeah,
because there's a lot about that. Like Houston's massive, but it feels like there are provinces. Right. There's the Montrose area, then there's Katy, then there's the Woodlands, and like just these little tribes. But ultimately, did you have to throw an event? Like, was that the whole point of going out there, or was it more to hang out?
We did a tasting at Esquire that I set up, and Kiwa was with me, so it was my first tasting training.
Yeah, but I imagine like being as a bar manager now, because you are Backbeat. Are you pretty comfortable being in that role? Like, being in front
absolutely.
Of people?
Yeah, I am. I used to be a teacher.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah, high school, and
really,
I tutored a lot. Yeah, so I'm a reserved person, but I feel comfortable in front of people.
Yeah. You kind of have to, right?
Right. Even if you're uncomfortable, you never show it. It's Don't show your fear; they will take advantage of you.
Is that a Russian thing? Like, never show fear. It could be.
Particularly related to high school teaching. Yeah. You cannot show your fear. That will destroy you.
They'll tear you apart.
Absolutely.
Because I think people, there are a couple things that precede you, right? So you have a reputation, not a bad one, not a Stalin-esque kind of thing.
Everybody's got a reputation, right?
That's right, yeah. But like, there are a couple things that people, Mike Sanders will always say, and it's almost like with this great reverence, he says she can drink so much vodka. Like, it's like he is impressed by your ability.
Last time we drank together and he was impressed. We were drinking whiskey, by the way.
Oh, even better. Well,
it was a couple years ago at Christmas party.
Oh my gosh. So that's the thing, is like, think about you, right? These high school students, like, oh, we've got this. We're gonna break it down. And like, not only given they're just high school students, they shouldn't be drinking anyway, not only could you drink them all under the table, but you probably could make them feel horrible with less than 10 words, a single sentence.
I don't ever want to make anybody feel horrible.
Not even if they did it, not even as like a retaliation.
No, we actually developed a really good relationship.
Good, okay.
Yeah, I think people see the passion in what you're doing, and if they do, and if you know what you're talking about, generally they will respect and listen to you.
So that's no matter how old, then, I guess, right?
No, what's that?
Like, no matter the age, people respond that way.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. And no matter the industry, really.
Yeah. That's a good... I think it's a good lens to look at things. Treat people with respect. Sometimes you get this notion, or I do, if you read too much about kids, right? Because we're older now. We're in our 30s. We're more esteemed. And you think kids are all fucked up, right? But then you're saying, just treat them with respect. And they're very, very
and know what you're talking about and be ready to answer your questions. And if you don't know, don't try to bullshit anybody. Just say you don't know. It's not a big deal. It's okay not to know something.
It's good to not know.
Yeah.
And do you ever, there's this thing that Jimmy Kimmel does, I think. And I've mentioned this before on the show, but I think it's hilarious. And it's one of the first things that Ladie and I ever said to each other when someone will walk around, right, with a microphone for the show, and they'll say, "Hey, have you heard of this band? You looking forward to seeing this band? They're at Coachella in like 2012 or something."
Oh yeah, he did it South by, right?
Yeah, the South by as well.
That's hilarious.
And it's like everybody
made up band.
Yeah, they're all made up. But to your point, like if one person was like, "Oh no, I haven't heard of it. Is it good?" Right? That's like almost more impressive than be like, "Oh yeah, well, I like their early stuff." Or know, it's a total.
Yeah, that's always funny. I think he does it every year.
Does he?
Yeah, I saw it a couple years in a row.
It's like that. Yeah. But the thing is, like, we're talking about music, but it's like that in the industry too. Do you think that you will bring that you'll bring more truth to it? Like you have no business or no interest in blowing smoke up people's ass. You want to share a product that's great.
Oh, you're talking about my Agricole gig? Yeah. No, I just want people to have the knowledge of what it is and hopefully share my passion for it, because I've been passionate about it for a number of years now. So, try it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you like it, great. It's a product that's made with care for people that produce it, and heritage and
tradition and all
and it's just a great product, So
okay, so there are so many different
that's
facets.
my approach,
but that's good. Like you could was just talking about a sales guy today who will remain nameless. I wouldn't want to drink with him. I wouldn't want to buy his product because he wants to beat me over the head with it, and it's an ego game all the time. Like, do you see those kinds of people out there too?
Yeah, of course. But also, like, going back to the previous question. Yeah. If you're trying to do a serious program, a bar program, there should be an Agricole at your bar.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So you can't really call yourself a cocktail bar or a serious program without a representation of Agricole. So there's that as well.
That's a good point.
And me coming from that background, I think helps to connect with people on that level as well.
Yeah, because operationally kind of what it's going to take, execution and all of that. Yeah. Okay, so there's so many things that I think are very interesting about you. The least. Don't worry.
I never think of myself as an interesting person.
But that's why you're good. That's why you're cool, right? That's why people are like, yeah, Ania's great, because you're not huffy and puffy and like hoity-toity and like, oh, I'm so important, right? We're just all people. We're just doing stuff.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, sure, of course. Humility goes a long way, and I think that you understand that. But so things started out though. You were born and raised in Russia until...
I went to college there as well.
Did you really? Okay.
I came here right after college to go to grad school.
18-ish? No.
How old was it? It was 2004. I don't know really how old I am because I don't feel that old. But
yeah, I mean...
It was 2004, which is 12 years ago.
Okay. Wow.
So
that doesn't seem
I think I was 22. Yeah, I was 22.
How was it? She smiles. It's like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Sometimes I do forget how old I am. It's just weird.
But that's good. Maybe you're in the moment, right? Maybe you're in the moment all the time. Yeah. You don't have to think about
maybe.
How is it? Like
2004, I came here to go to grad school because I didn't know what the hell I want to do with my life.
Well, what was the undergrad in?
It was linguistics.
Okay.
And teaching English as foreign language.
English as a foreign language.
That's why I taught English in high school.
So, okay.
And I did some interpreting work at a film studio in Moscow before I left.
Really?
So that was like one of the funnest jobs I had.
Anything we would have heard of? There's not a massive amount.
So there's a soap opera or a series on Russian television. It was based on Ugly Betty.
Oh, the show. Yeah.
So it was a Russian version of Ugly Betty, and the guy who was helping them to put it together was hired by Sony Studios and brought to Moscow to help them.
Oh, cool.
With the process, and I was just running around with him and trying to make him like Russia.
So what are some of the as a guy that's never been there?
Interpreting mostly. I mostly did interpreting on what do you call it? Just during filming, essentially,
right.
And basically translating his
kind of the dialogue that was he writing this?
No, he was not writing. He was just making comments or adjustments or making suggestions.
Sure.
And so a lot of translating, not on stage. What's the right word? What's the television word for it?
Oh, I don't even know. But I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
On set.
On set.
Yeah.
God, see, like it's
stage set. It's the same.
Some words just.
But no, but I like that because I mean that's one of the things is that. So when did you start learning English? And is that something that happens really early on in Russia?
No. Well, you do take foreign language in high school and middle school, but it's nothing serious. So
it's
I went to college for that.
Wow.
So I learned English and Spanish for 5 years.
So are you pretty fluent in Spanish too?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
God, no. Yeah, you have to practice.
That's why you picked rum over mezcal then, probably, right?
I guess.
So what kind of like, because I've never been to Russia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Westerner and I kind of have my opinion about it. And I did grow up in the 80s like you did. And I remember that tension I felt. Like even as a kid, you know, the whole Star Wars thing.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I came to realize that like wasn't Star Wars. It was Ronald Reagan initiative.
Mm-hmm.
How was it there? Was it tense too? Or is everybody kind of worried?
I was growing up during all that time, and honestly, I never felt there was something wrong. You know, as a kid, if you not explain things, you think that's how it's supposed to be.
Right.
And there's no other way. So I had a very happy, go lucky childhood. You know, standing in line for bread and milk was a norm, and that's just what you do on the weekends.
Really?
And, yeah.
And that was, it's not still like that, or is it still like that?
Oh, not at all.
That was just
of course not. Yeah, that was part of I guess, collapsing system that didn't work out, and that was consequences of communism, which is amazing on paper, but not in reality.
In application.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's all good for you. You don't hate the West or anything. It was great.
Right? I had a great childhood. I went on school breaks to my grandparents' town, which is military town, so it was enclosed. It's just a military village, I guess, in American terms. And it was enclosed. You had to have like a pass to go through, so it was very safe to be in there and play with kids, and everybody knew each other. It was like my best memories of my childhood. Yeah,
it's cold there, isn't it?
Well, yeah, in winter it is. I'm not from Siberia where it's cold
real
all the
cold,
time.
Right? Which no,
city? We have seasons.
Yeah.
Summer, if lucky, hot summer.
Yeah.
3 months.
But not like here, though.
Oh no.
It's here.
Not that
hell
hot.
on earth.
No, but it could be really hot too.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
It seems like I think now Moscow specifically has become a destination. I think people are really excited to go there and check it out. And is it you go back still?
I go back as much as I can. I went in December, and before that, I went for a few days for a funeral, unfortunately, but. The time before we went in May for 2 weeks, and it was amazing. We got really lucky with weather. Speaking of the weather, it was beautiful the whole time.
And Stephen went, I guess.
Yeah, Stephen went. So we had a really good time.
That's killer. So it's good. Your family's pretty much all still there.
All of them.
Yeah. So you're the only one that made it.
Pretty much.
Across. But you did land in grad school to continue studying linguists.
No, communications.
Communications. Okay.
Corporate and mass communication was my grad major.
Really? Was it a different change of pace? It seems like it from linguistics.
Definitely. It was much easier than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not speaking of the cultural barrier, it was studying was not bad. And it just kind of fell into this industry while being in grad school.
That's what I thought.
Because, everybody pays their bills, and I pay my bills that way.
Yeah, but I mean, excuse me, it's a great way to do so. I mean, think about all the kinds of things, how your life has kind of taken shape, whereas you use the stuff you learned in academia, and you still do. You're articulate, you think about communicating, like how to frame a message and things. But apparently, because I've interviewed your husband, you're working across from a punk club. Is that right? Was it a pizza place you worked at?
I worked at a pizza place, basically right across the street from his place, which is a brewery.
Oh, that's right.
Both of our places had windows as walls, essentially. So we can, it was a very tight community in Mobile downtown. It's pretty much a couple blocks with all the bars and restaurants. So we all knew each other. So it was just messing around, and
you could literally see him
making jokes through the windows, and just goofing around.
I heard that was the first date a show? Is that what it was? You guys went to, or was it like a
he
proper?
He did not call it that, even though I pretended like I didn't understand what's going on and brought
Is that a dating technique?
He said that. There's a show playing tonight.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. So, should be a cool show. You should come.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, yeah, maybe I will. And I did. And I brought a friend over.
I remember, like a very
who was a cross-dresser.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He was a cross-dresser. His name was Greg.
Was that a buffer?
Natasha. No, we actually friends. Well, we're friends. We don't really keep in touch anymore, but we were actually pretty close friends.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, and the rest, I guess, is history there.
Yeah.
But coming up, I always wonder, though, like, even the program must have been good in Alabama, but did you have any preconceived notion of all the places to come into the States?
So, when my last year in college, the summer before, there's a program for international students called Work and Study.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically let you come in for a summer and travel the United States and just work jobs to support yourself. So I came the year before, and I stayed mostly in New Orleans and Louisiana, like Baton Rouge and Lafayette, and then we traveled the country. At some point, the whole country through the Grand Canyon, California.
Wow. So you got a good, nice tour of everything.
So I was like, hey, I've already been here. I like it in the South, really like New Orleans. So I was looking for schools in the South in that area, and couldn't really afford Loyola.
Yeah. A lot of people can't afford it.
I know. So and I looked up the program, and it was, I think, ranked 5th in the nation for that specific program.
Okay.
And they gave me scholarship. So it was an easy choice.
Yeah. Well, and it transformed into a career change in a sense.
Yeah.
Well, so when you were first doing the pizza thing, what was the first moment where you're like, I kind of like alcohol? Not from an imbibing perspective, but just like, this is an interesting thing.
Actually, the very first time that I thought it was a really cool industry was 2003. I went to London for summer as well before I went to the States.
Wow.
And we kind of we lived in London and just worked in a bar, which I've heard still exists, called Strawberry Moons.
No kidding.
And started as bussers and then got promoted to bartenders.
Really?
So I thought it was like the best, most fun job ever. And then we had to go back to school. It was me and my friend. So it didn't develop into anything bigger, but it was a silly...
Planted a seed, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a silly 70s themed, disco themed bar, just silly drink. That's where I learned how to make Long Island iced tea and all those things.
Cutting your teeth.
Yeah, and definitely high volume. And we danced on the bar in the middle of the night. And there was nothing slutty about it. All guys and girls did, and we wore a vest and a tie, and just did silly moves. And then,
because it's 70s, right?
Yeah, it was like the best time ever. And I thought back then, oh, that would be great to have that job for a while.
Yeah.
And then I went to grad school and was waiting tables first, and then got promoted accidentally to a bartender.
And it still, did it kind of come back? You're like, wait a minute, this is that thing I really, really liked.
Oh, yeah. I also noticed that bartending, when I...
She keeps doing air quotes, by the way.
I don't know why.
Like, but bartending, well, no, but it's to some, it's not a real thing. It's just like you go and you show up.
Well, what I was getting to is that I also noticed that it was very closely guarded circle.
Really?
Yeah, Mobile, maybe it was Mobile, Alabama, but the place that I worked at was called Pickle Fish.
Mm-hmm.
There was one up north where I started because right by my house.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a car back then, and it was very hard to get to bartending there. It was just like it. Well, I guess that place in general was a club of certain people,
right,
so.
Right. Did you notice, like, at that point that it was kind of a boys' club, or was it all mixed?
No, actually, there were just as many girls. Actually, I think most of them were girls for obvious reasons, because that kind of place.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a kind of closely guarded circle that I was not allowed in for a while.
But in due time, I guess. But in due time, you finally kind of cracked it.
It was by accident. Somebody messed up and the shift wasn't covered, so I just covered.
I'm here, I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
So did that kind of start evolving then in the Mobile scene?
Yeah, I just kept that shift, and then that place actually closed at some point, and I went on to working a place down the street, which was primarily a beer garden.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool place. I stayed there for about 4 years.
Crazy.
So that's where I just started bartending only.
So you've got some. It's cool because grow up in Russia, you stand in the lines, like the quintessential as we see it from the West. You get a really nice education because you finished up your master's while working, right?
Right.
Yeah, because that's a story a lot of the times that chops right then and people don't actually finish. So you finished an advanced degree, and then you end up in Austin. But why? I forgot exactly why you ended up here.
We just wanted to change.
Yeah.
And so Steven went to high school with Karen Dressel.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Dressel's wife.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
And yeah, he came and visit without me. I think it was 4th of July, and he really liked the place. And a few months later, Brian was opening Midnight Cowboy and offered Steven a job. Maybe and was like, hey, yeah, we should move. We have a job now, so we just moved.
And you were totally like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, I wanted to change for a while, and it was a good time to do it.
Did you expect that you would be doing hospitality still here, or did you want to start leveraging?
I was thinking of changing my path, not because I didn't like the industry,
right? Because
I like doing different things and just open to it.
Such a rich collection of things to do.
So I applied for some random jobs in my field, which was advertising. And obviously it's if you don't know anybody, you're not going to get a job.
Much like the hospitality, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Plus, my resume sounded really weird to an outsider. Nobody knows what Moscow State Linguistic University is.
Yeah.
And it sounded like a complete weirdo out of somebody just
New
made
Hampshire
it
University. Actually is a real one. But yeah, it's a good.
Yeah, it sounded. I'm sure it sounded really weird.
They're like, we're kind of scared. I'm scared of that.
Yeah.
This
I don't know if there was. I think just nobody had no idea what all of that is.
So you didn't get a lot of traction, you think?
Oh, not at all. No, I had 0 responses.
Really?
Yeah.
And so is that
because people don't? I think in general, people don't look at life skills. They look at, hey, where did you work before, which was nowhere for me.
Yeah,
for Austin.
Well, it is. You're right, and I think that's what brings you into the room, and then the conversation, and then you sell the rest.
Yeah,
it's very interesting how that works. I've been talking about that lately. Like, the degree gets you in the door, but being a dick will get you thrown out of the door.
Right.
You gotta still have that.
And I think the service industry in general is more welcoming to all sorts of people, other than just one type.
Absolutely. There's so many artists, like so many carpenters, or so many graduates, like so many different things there. And so I wonder. So all right. So I think this makes sense where you enter the set of hospitality again, but this modeling thing, because I've seen some pictures. Was that something you had been doing for a while?
Oh, not at all. It was just a friend of mine in Russia who actually was the girl, spent time in London with me. She's a professional photographer. Was just starting back then, so I did a lot of just modeling for her. I don't
to get her practice.
You can't really call that modeling.
So did it go beyond that?
I just sat there and took pictures.
Well, that's not what modeling is. Did you look disaffected? As long as you did.
No, I had fun doing it, but it was never serious.
You didn't
want it was just for people. Usually it was for people that I made. I was like, hey, I want to take a picture. I was like, sure, I have the pictures and you'll have something in your portfolio. That's my modeling.
That's good. It's pretty rich.
So now I have some good pictures and people have some practice.
When you host the next Rhum class, you'll have the perfect headshot already. You're already set.
Right.
You've got, it's like, man, the lighting's really good on that. She seems really put together. She's been at this industry for a long time, I bet.
I guess that helps.
I guess I remember there was a second where you worked here in town, Drinkable. What was the first gig coming back in to the industry?
The first gig was Olive and June.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Stayed there for quite a few months.
Yeah.
And then moved on to Second Barn Kitchen. That's how I know Billy Hankey. The dear Billy Hankey. And then I was splitting my time between Second Barn Kitchen and Drinkwell at some point. And then I just went full time to Drinkwell.
Man. Were those good educations? Because it seems like such different programs.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was great. And regret nothing.
Yeah.
All of it was great.
It's interesting to me. One of the things I always noticed is the encyclopedic amount of knowledge that you have about cocktails.
Who, me? No.
See, I know you say that, right? But I would always learn something new when, it's like...
I learn a lot from you, too, when you come to the bar.
Wow, that befuddles me. Cause
I learn a lot from my customers in general.
Which is good.
But you are the enthusiast, one of the enthusiasts, so I do learn a lot.
Tacey gave me shit about that. I interviewed her recently. She's like, you were the guy that did blah, 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 blah. And like, well, I gotta figure, I mean, all in love, of course. But do you, prepare, so to speak? I mean, you execute things so precisely. Do you spend spare time reading about it? Do you spend time practicing?
As much as I can. Wish I had more time. I wish I had more time for everything.
Sure.
But yeah, we have... I mean, Steven buys most of the books before I get to it, so he keeps a library, and I just go through it with him. Or we talk a lot too, but unfortunately, our jobs all the time. But because we're passionate about what we do.
Well, that's great. Yeah. I mean, there's no better thing to go wrong than be too passionate.
No, I try to stay on track, and again, can't know everything, but I try to know things.
Is there anything
that I'm supposed to know?
I think you do a great job at that.
Things I'm not supposed to know. Yeah.
Is there anything you find just physically difficult about bartending? I hear a lot about repetitive injuries and things.
I had to change the way I shake and stir. My legs hurt more than before.
Really? Where in your joints?
No, actually, my ankles hurt more than anything, and my calves.
Yeah.
But I started noticing over time. I mean, I am getting older.
Yeah.
And there are certain things about my body that I started noticing that weren't there before.
Sure.
My wrist hurts every once in a while, but again, I use now left hand more than I use my right hand. Yeah.
So you make some kind of correction.
Yeah, I'm definitely. You have to listen to your body.
Yeah. Oh, well, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think that people in this industry, we're prone to drinking way too much. Mm-hmm. And the thing that we serve up on a platter, because we do that, is our body and our health, you know. Mm-hmm. Do you you and Steven seem very, very fit. I mean, now whether you guys are doing Pilates in the morning or stuff, I don't know, but do you guys make it
I try to work out
priority? Yeah.
At least 3 times a week. Mm-hmm. But that's my routine. We try to get outside as much as we can. I love being outside. But yeah, I like working out. I feel better about myself and actually everything after I work out. So,
do you think that people fail to really notice that? Like they don't focus on their health?
They should.
Sure,
but course. I don't think in general it's a attribute of our industry. I think if you take the populace and look at it, maybe I don't think the industry suffers more than any other industry.
Maybe not. Yeah, but I think that it's a high risk lifestyle.
Definitely,
we're exposed to it more than others.
Yeah.
You know,
but we also know what good booze is, and we drink good booze.
Well, true, but too much of a good thing.
Yeah,
you know?
True.
And I think it's just the beginning. Every kind of industry eventually evolves into what is its stride. You know,
right?
Bartenders once were the rock stars of the social world, right? Mm-hmm. Talk about Harry Craddock and guys.
Were they? Well, I think back so. Then, no,
yeah.
I take it back. You
put
a time
back.
You put a timeline on that.
Yeah, way back. You know, like 100 years ago. That. You know, and so they were, and then things change, and then they go away, and then you get this kind of commoditization of it, where it's like if a dude can mix this pre-mixed kind of thing in a bottle with some booze, he's in good
Which
shape.
Still exists too.
Totally does.
It's crazy that it does.
It is. Yeah. But the thing is that with places like Drinkwell, with places like Backbeat, that obviously the bars are being elevated and people are doing a better job. And finally, it's like kind of okay to be, I'm a bartender. Or maybe they fluff up the word and call them mixologist, whatever, but like I'm a bartender.
Right.
That now has kind of this resonance for success, which I think in our lifetimes we hadn't seen it be a noble profession.
Yeah, you're right.
But with that, I think the consequences are that more people, high-profile people, will die. And I'm not trying to be dark, but I think because that the focus on health and health programs, Tech's got it, right?
Yeah.
Tech had it many booths.
You're right. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know,
yeah.
And I just wonder how we can help.
I've noticed more and more conversations about that for sure.
Yeah.
All the cocktail weeks and in general in the media, people talk more about it. And I grew up in a way where I was taught to look after my body. So that comes as a second nature to me. I understand it might not be for other people. Maybe my perception is skewed.
Well, no, it's not always second nature.
Yeah.
Luckily we can learn about it because the information is very free and very prolific. But that's something I don't think a lot of people, and that goes into a larger conversation, which we don't have to cover, but how do I eat?
Yeah.
I don't know how to eat. I know how to shove shit in my mouth, but I don't know what are macros. Sure, am I eating enough protein? All these kinds of things. We're just finding out the potential for the good we can do in that space. USBG just did that paddleboarding thing this week, which is at least an attempt to try.
I really wanted to make that, but
it would have been so cool. Pictures looked really
it looked nice,
great on it. But all right, so the health piece, you're a good example, I think, and people can look up to you is for that. If nothing else, is that she's taking care of her body. So March of this year, number 2 from Mike and Jess kind of comes into play. This different concept, something that's in South Austin, or depending how you look at it, right? Beautiful concept, different approach, different aesthetic, and thus Backbeat is born. Were you always going to be the bar manager there? Was that going to be the plan no matter what?
Well, didn't tell me otherwise, so...
Wait, yeah.
Yeah, there was an offer, and I said yes to it because, I felt like I got Drinkwell to where it needed to be at that time, and I needed to grow as well and do other things. So it was a good timing for it in general.
Yeah.
If there were other candidates, I don't know about him. So I wouldn't be offended if
you beat them all. It doesn't matter now, right?
Right. So yeah, it was just a really good timing for all of that.
Conceptually, how would you articulate the difference between Backbeat and Drinkwall? What are you guys trying to do there?
We're not trying to do anything crazy different. Yeah. It's crazy for me, at least. I have the same feeling when I'm in the building in a Backbeat as I am a Drinkwall. Mm-hmm. It's got the same coziness to it as Drinkwall does. It's just 4 times bigger. Yeah. So with that being said, we took that in consideration and expanded our wine program, expanded our sessionable offerings. Yeah. Because obviously we have a great patio and you can sit there for a long time and drink multiple drinks, but hey, let's lower down the ABV on those. And
a lot of sherry too this time around too, which is great.
We're trying to, a lot of people have been trying to make sherry happen in this town.
Yeah.
It's
like
it's not a crowd pleaser.
It's not. It's esoteric, but it's a beautiful
for sure
thing.
For sure.
You guys have that sherry cobbler.
We're not giving up. No.
Yeah. No. Exactly. Well, you're finding digestible and very accessible ways to deliver these esoteric flavors. Yeah. And I think that's kind of an interesting. Like you guys have the Neon Jungle stuff. A mezcal tiki drink.
Yeah.
I mean, really. Right, but it works.
That drink does not taste the way it looks.
No, not at all.
I think it throws people off a lot of times, but in a good way. It's a good surprise. So.
Do you have a lot of creative input on those things?
Mm-hmm. I did. My usual. I always have an input on every menu, and sometimes you have bad days, sometimes good days.
Yeah, well, you can't write number 1 hits all the time.
No.
There's always the sophomore jinx, right? You can't. You just.
Correct. Yeah. No, of course. We all. That's one of the things I always loved about Drinkwall and now Backbeat, that we take input from our every employee.
Yeah.
You have a good idea, bring it on, and we'll talk about it, and we'll test it, and we'll dial it in, and all those good things.
It's amazing, and that's one of the things that feels different when you go into those places. Mm-hmm. The ambiance and just how it feels to drink there, even if I didn't know you guys.
Yeah.
I think it would still be something very special. It's very unique in that sense. And I can't really describe it why, but I think because you have like 2 completely brilliant minds behind it, but that are so different and clash at the times too. Mm-hmm. I think that all that makes this beautiful kind of disaster at times, but it's always organized, Mm-hmm. You have a drink, and I think where we transition into your latest chapter here with the House of Agricole.
Yeah.
So you made the perfect drink, and I don't know if I'm sure this was intentional that you were making this spice rum with the Damoiseau. Is that
Damoiseau?
Yeah, Damoiseau, and it's an overproof. That particular one was right?
Yeah,
like 110.
You're talking about the spiced dessert drink.
Yeah, which is one of the greatest things I've ever tasted. I was trying to build it up, like say, and this thing is coming. You could like see your creative mind shifting into this passion and this expression for rum.
Yeah, that was I got inspired for that one from the trip to Martinique actually, and where I tasted actually spiced rum that's spiced with whole fruits and spices, and it was just so good. And when I came back, I was like, I have to make my own spiced rum.
Did you have? Was this? You were involved with the brand at this point?
Oh, no, I wasn't.
Not yet,
no,
right?
I was not.
It's all just kind of percolating.
Yeah, I was not. And I just started playing with it. Actually, the first batch had so much clove in it. I had to take it out. It
clove
was crazy.
Is so rough.
I put way too much. But
you learn that's a lesson you don't repeat twice.
But I adjusted it, and that was the only thing that I had to adjust. And after that, it was just very delicious.
Very good sipping at 110. Yeah. What was it about? What took you to Martinique in the first place? Just you wanted to.
So my dear friend Will Stragis, who
barrel bourbon now, right?
Yeah. I met him last year. He was doing a tour of Texas, which he loves for some random reason. He's just obsessed with Texas. I still understand why, but And I met him. He stopped by Drinkwell, and then that's when they got Damoiseau in their portfolio, and he was making rounds. And then he was a supporter for Tiki Week, of course. And then a few months later, he was putting together Damoiseau competition in San Antonio as a part of, what was it a part of? It wasn't it was a cocktail week.
San Antonio cocktail. Yeah.
So he really, really wanted somebody from Drinkwell to represent. So me and Becca did it. And I don't like doing competitions.
Why is that?
Because it takes a lot of time to think about those things and put them together, and it just takes time away from distracts from your other job. And what was the other reason I don't like doing competitions?
Do you like being in front of people like that?
I think everybody can say that. Nobody likes being judged.
No, it's a horrible thing.
So when you're being judged right there, I don't know a person who likes that. So
yeah, it's like standing naked in front of a classroom.
Yeah.
You know that everybody's like peering into every nook and cranny.
Oh, the other part of why I don't like competition, I just remembered, is because it's not really a representation whether or not you're good at your job. So, you might win a lot of competitions, but it really doesn't say anything about you as a bartender and a professional.
That's a great point. Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
I might be wrong.
No, but it's really true, because it's like just because you can make a drink at a time
exactly
for however 4 people or something doesn't mean that you're good with people.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're good at executing. Doesn't mean you have actual skills. There's like that, and
so that I think that part of it always felt kind of fake to me.
Yeah.
I'm being judged in my profession for really not the skills that I exercise every day. So that's why I don't do them.
I was going to say, wait a minute. That's right. You don't ever do these things.
I did one before. The reason I would do a competition, I was joking about it, is strictly for money.
Sure. Yeah, I love it.
I'm not doing them for like a multiple stage competition.
Yeah.
Because
one and done.
You know how they can be like, it's regional.
Yeah.
And it's
I can't even figure it out.
National, then it's international. It's like, okay, how much time do I need to devote to this? Because I really don't have time.
Yeah.
So
but you did it. But you went to San Antonio.
So because I love and the prize was a trip to Martinique.
Oh, cool.
I always wanted to go to Martinique, and it was one and done. And so I did.
Walk away, and you can do it.
And I didn't win it. I did not win it.
Who won?
I don't remember the name of the guy, but I lost. Tober whispered in my ear because he was one of the judges.
Yeah.
He's like, "You lost by 1 point."
Why you gotta say that?
Out of 100, apparently.
God, it's even more frustrating.
I was like, I never expect to win because I'm not good at those things. So it's like, whatever, I'm moved on with my life. And then a few months later, Will called me and was like, "Hey, I need to talk to you. It's very urgent." And it's like, what? He's like, "Do you want to go to Martinique? This guy's backing out for some reason." And I was like, yes?
Yeah. What am I not going to go to Martinique for?
So yes, of course I want to go to Martinique. But we just opened Backbeat at this point.
Oh, it was man. Worst timing.
Yeah, a month or two in. And I was like, give me a day because I cannot give you the answer right now.
Yeah.
So I thought about it, talked to Mike and Jazz, and they were really cool. It's like, yeah, you have to go to Martinique.
Absolutely.
So I called them back, and I went to Martinique, which was everything I thought it would be and even greater.
That's amazing. So you get to smell the smells, taste all of the different
it was incredible.
Expressions.
Yeah, it was great.
So you come back, and you have maybe this newly ignited passion for agricole at that point.
I just got really inspired. That drink came out of it, and just, how a lot of spirit brands have this story, and a lot of time it's, let's be honest, bullshit.
Yeah.
And I had that romantic picture about Rhum Agricole in my mind for the longest time.
Right.
I remember reading an article about it in Garden and Gun years back. I was like, it's all pretty and wonderful. And
teenage romance.
I go to the island, and It is really true.
It's that way, yeah. It's amazing.
It can't be real. It was crazy. Yeah.
How long were you out there? You said a week?
Just 5 days.
Oh, wow. That's still enough to do it. So how did you then hook up? I mean, it was obvious that you could understand production from. You could understand cocktails. You could understand the terroir. All of these things. So that made you a good candidate for this gig. How did that come about?
Well, Will took another job, and apparently he was probably one of very few people who left going to Texas for his job. So nobody wanted to come to Texas.
Oh my gosh,
to
that's so
Agricole, and Ben called me. He was like, "You make perfect sense.
You're there.
Would you like to do this? Yeah, you were there. You liked it." And
when was that officially?
My starting day was July 1st.
Oh wow! So we're just a couple months.
Yeah, not long at all.
The travel is just commencing. San Antonio, the first stop.
Very easy for me.
So let's talk now. Well, first, before we talk about the portfolio, which I'd love to hear more about, we're drinking a Rhum JM and Agricole. So tell me where the Calvados comes into play.
It's a 10-year Agricole. It's aged 8 years in bourbon casks, and then finished in Calvados casks.
That is
what I love about it, and I always said older is not better.
No, not
with any with any spirit. But what I love about it, even though it's pretty old,
10's not shabby. Yeah,
you still taste the grass in it, and it finishes like Calvados, which is kind of crazy.
It is like a Frankenstein of a spirit. It's so interesting. And what is this? The stand? Because Rhum JM typically is 80 proof, right?
Oh no, we have 100 mark and we have 80.
Oh, so you get multiple. What is the final on this guy?
That's a good question. It's 40.8, which is
It's weird how
it's very elegant, and I think all Rhum JM for me is very elegant.
This is so strange. It's strange in the most pleasant way, because you wouldn't think, and I had never really thought on the same plane to think of Calvados, which has a nose that is unparalleled. You always can tell, and tasting it as well, you can always tell it's Calvados, or at least an apple brandy, but Calvados specifically. So this somehow there's this weird marriage between the grassiness of the Agricole style with that punchy acidity, of the Calvados. It works. I don't know how, because it's so close to not working to me, right? It's almost like, oh shit.
I think one month past this would not work.
God, it's just like teetering on the
right time,
the verge of failure. But yeah, this is an incredible bottle, and this seems like, just looking at the bottle, which is opaque, kind of handwritten labels. When did you guys release?
It's not available in the States.
Oh wow!
I got it on the island.
Oh wow! Thank you so much for sharing this. Yeah, that's amazing.
It's a limited release, obviously, and it's so small. It's just not worth it for them to bring it over here.
Yeah.
And the bottle size is smaller.
Is it a 700 centiliter?
500 milliliter. Yeah.
Oh man, or 500 milliliter.
Milliliter, yeah.
That's crazy.
I've learned recently it's not allowed in the States.
Nope.
Yeah. 375, 750, and a liter.
A liter and a half, and then 1.5. Yeah. I don't know why it is. Maybe metric or the tax doesn't work. I'm not real sure.
I'm not sure.
That's why Havana Club's having such a hard time.
Oh, really?
One of the things that they got to change the bottle size and go for label approval again, just to bring it in the States. Not to mention all of the other massive just in general. So this is Rhum JM has, man, there's so many cool labels that you guys have out, but there's
I think all between 3 brands we got 25 marks, if I'm not mistaken. I'm still learning things about the company and the brands, But
so what are the three?
It's a lot of marks.
What are the main companies, the main brands?
Clement, Damoiseau, and JM.
So those 3. Okay.
JM is owned by Clement, and Damoiseau is just under contract with
I see. Okay.
Clement.
And you guys have a mix. It's all Agricole style, right?
All Agricole, yeah.
Which we know what that is, but for
which
people
is
that might
crazy
not know,
because they are bringing molasses-based rum into the portfolio in a year or so. So
really, it
is called House of Agricole, but we're gonna have non-Agricole.
Yeah. You do a weird spelling with it.
It's just House of delicious rum.
That's incredible though. So what is that molasses being processed in the same place? It's just a different SKU?
No, they got St. Lucia Distillery, which is I think the only distillery on the island.
Yeah.
And it's a molasses-based rum.
Wow.
And they have different style of molasses rum there, like column still, pot still, the mix. So they have a million different marks. I think the company is still trying to figure out what to do with all that.
Yeah. Well, it's hard.
The Chairman is the rum that's distributed in the U.S. right now.
Okay.
Chairman Reserve.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard of it.
I've heard of it. I've never had it.
Yeah. They have it in some states, not in Texas.
Not yet.
Yeah.
So that's going to be on your plate soon enough.
I hope so.
Yeah.
They do have a spice rum, which is
but like naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very excited about.
Well, yeah, you've been doing all this research, making your own.
Oh no, I'm sure it's gonna be tasting different than mine. But
yeah. So what is of the 25 or so I call them SKUs, you guys call them marks?
Mm-hmm.
What's the one that you want everybody to have? You feel like it's the greatest introduction into the portfolio?
I think I have to pick probably JM.
Yeah.
80.
Yeah.
Because it's the most universal. But the geek in me loves Clement, Blue Cane.
Okay. Blue.
Yeah, it's the only single varietal rum on the market. I love that in a tea punch.
Is it even funkier and like more rustic, or?
To me, it tastes like peppered candy.
Really?
It's really cool.
Interesting. Yeah. You guys haven't.
It's a little bit more robust than say GM 80.
Right. Which is lighter, very floral, very punchy, like pretty accessible. I mean, rum. It's funny because you talk about the actual market of rum, much like gin, right? People think it's bigger than it is.
Yeah.
And so you talk about rum, and there is almost this challenge to just pull people away from drinking like dragonberry flavored rum and like spice
I've never
rum.
tried that. Is it good?
I've never tried it either. I've seen it, but I've seen it on menus, and it's like, did you need to make that? Like, is it coconut flavored rum, albeit delicious, but it's made in a lab somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you? Because you're playing to kind of the home audience in a way when you're working with bartenders, right? Because they're open to it already. Rum is cool. Rum is like
right.
It's like I'm trying to like Beach House or something, right? It's like a band that it's kind of underground but very big. But to break beyond that, what do you have to do?
Well, I think the conversation about transparency in food started much earlier than transparency in liquor business.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But I don't see why we should not ask the same questions.
Right.
If you're asking where your food comes from, why not ask where your booze comes from? Because you consume in that as well.
Yeah, I agree.
So why I loved Agricole so much and still do is because there's absolute transparency and production and labor and everything they do is here. Come look at it. We have nothing to hide. And yes, it's going to be a little bit pricier than say like something else.
$8 bottle. Yeah.
What are you putting in your body?
Right. Ties back to the health piece again.
Well, yeah. I don't see why we shouldn't ask the same questions when we talk about booze. So,
do you think this is? It feels like you're right. Like people want to know about their cocktails more than ever. Oh, what's in that?
Yeah, right? They're more open in general. I think every bar nowadays, even though maybe cocktails are not that good, but they try to do cocktails.
Right.
And they have a menu everywhere now, a cocktail menu. Even if you're a beer bar, they'll still have a couple cocktails.
Yeah. So you've got a
to me it's maybe I'm wrong about it. To me it's like an obvious thing. Like,
well, yes. Yeah. I mean, you're enlightened though. Like how do you even go about saying? So think about it like this. So gin's a gin. Yeah. Lots of different flavors of it's still gin.
Right.
Whiskey's hard because you got scotch, you got rum.
Yeah.
So rum, really beyond the aged expressions of it, you've got an agricole and you have molasses style, or you can have a blend, but I don't see many of those. how do you articulate that to people? Does that even matter to them? You know what I mean? Like, because it's Agricole is like
right.
a funkier brother. It's harder to.
It's definitely a drier style of rum in general, and maybe in that sense less approachable.
Yeah.
But it's so delicious.
So that's all that matters, right? It's like, it's delicious.
It is good, and I think we should talk about applications. You know, tea punch, obviously. It's the holy trinity of sugar, lime, and rum. If you use lime and sugar with any rum, is delicious.
It's a great, simple, great, classic,
approachable. Yeah, everybody has that at their house or should.
Yeah. Well, I think that you being behind the wheel, so to speak, for this agricole movement in Texas. Now, I'm sure there are plenty of brand ambassadors.
You call them big words.
What? No. But I mean, you have a really big place in this narrative now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you have some great marks / SKUs under your belt. I imagine you're going to be traveling a whole lot more here coming up. And I imagine this role will expand. I mean, do you want to be the national person? Do you want to keep it regional?
I'm going to take it day by day.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen. The kind of person that tries new things and see if they work. Yeah. That's the reason I end up here.
That's right.
So I really like what I'm doing right now and combining the two roles. As long as I can do it, I will do it. If I feel like something's suffering and I can give it 100% of what's required of me, it's not going to work.
Not going to do it.
So, yeah.
Well,
but I have a lot of things to explore in this small role as
absolutely.
is. Trying to figure out Class B and distribution in Texas is, even though I've been on the other side of
this is a whole different piece
of the formula. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is insane.
It is.
This is insane.
It's like they don't want anybody to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I can see why no one would ever want it.
I'm just like, why? How do people get anything done?
I don't know. I still don't know.
Crazy.
I sell booze every day, and I still have no idea how to get it done.
Things get done.
They do. Well, it's been, I'm way too long, and I'm glad we finally could do this.
I'm sorry it took forever.
No, I'm busy, you're busy. Mm-hmm. But this is the most you've ever had under your belt, it feels like. You've got these great brands. You have these two great bars, part of the family, managing Backbeat, and no better time to kind of talk about how this is going to expand. I'm really excited for you.
Thank you.
And thanks so much for sharing this amazing, this monstrosity, beautiful monstrosity.
Right? It's very tame, though. That's what I love about it. It's very tame.
You think it's going to be punchy and fumey, but it is very subdued. Probably like the island of Martinique itself.
Yeah.
Maybe so. But Ania, thank you so much.
Of course. It's been a pleasure.
Well, there we have it. What do you guys think of Ania? Ania has been a lot of different places, done a lot of things, incredibly insightful, incredibly intelligent, learned how to speak English very, very quickly, which is more than I can say for myself trying to learn Spanish. But it's great to see this latest chapter, her passion for agricole, take her into this great category. Rhum JM, Clement, Damoiseau. I mean, these are great expressions of a beautiful place and a beautiful set of flavors. And I love to see what Ania does behind Backbeat, experimenting with these wonderful rums. So thanks again for listening to Show to V with Mike G, a Rum Week edition to coincide with Texas Tiki Week. No matter which new gin-based or rum agricole-based tiki drink you're looking to imbibe in this week, or if you're wondering when Adam Sandler's really going to have that big career comeback, please keep dancing.